I got my first Ouija board when I was 8. Me and my sister begged my mom for it. After a few more begs, my mom finally gave in. A few days later, she bought it, and me and my sister finally got a hold of the Ouija board in our hands. It was like seeing your elf on the shelf move for the first time. It was magical. But this story isn't the one I want to tell. I don't even know what to tell. I don't even know if I was drunk or not, but the last experience I had, I don't even know if I walked the earth. It all started when me and my sister saw a girl in my parents' closet. I remember her curled up in a ball with a soaking wet white nightgown. Her long black hair was drooping over her face, and we never got to see her face. She would be rocking back and forth. Although I never felt scared around her. On the other hand, my sister was terrified. So a year ago, we played with the Ouija board inside of the closet. We brought the Ouija board out and placed it on the ground along with the planchette. My stomach started twisting and I felt sick to my stomach. My sister did too. That's how we knew she was there. We placed our ring finger and our index finger on one side. I had mine on the right, and my sister's on the left. We moved the planchette in a circle, asking if anyone wanted to speak to us. My face started getting hot. I remember feeling a force pulling the planchette to say yes, and me and my sister looked at each other. Our faces clarifying to each other we weren't moving it. "What's your name?" I asked, my voice very low. The planchette moved to A, then said yes. We thought it was Morse code because they tended to speak in Morse code a lot. "A?" I asked, wanted to clarify that was her name. "Are you female?" my sister asked, her eyes locked on the planchette. The planchette moved to yes, and we nodded, both already knowing she was. I sighed and shifted a bit uncomfortably from the question I was about to ask. "Do you mind me asking you how you died?" I asked, knowing that this could upset her. But I was relieved knowing that she wasn't upset. She told us that she was waterboarded in our backyard way before our house was made. Our backyard was a forest, but it used to be an ocean. We asked a bunch of stupid and weird questions just to get a good friendship with her so she knew that we weren't trying to get entertainment from her rather than just being her friend. Then I finally asked if she was a demon, and she paused for what seemed like 20 seconds. My throat dropped to my stomach when the planchette moved to yes. Me and my sister kept a straight face so she wouldn't know that we were a bit frightened. But when the planchette moved to run, our faces showed our true emotions. We moved the planchette to goodbye as fast as we could and threw the planchette on the ground before sprinting to the bedroom door, which we hadn't remembered closing. I tried to open the door, but it felt like an invisible force was closing it shut before I finally was able to get it open. We ran downstairs to our parents, which were watching a show. I don't quite remember what it was called. Me and my sister forgot about it after a few days, but a month later, everything got worse. I started hearing footsteps, and so did my sister. We either saw more ghosts and heard more, but A never returned. I'm still hearing footsteps when I'm alone, and hearing voices when no one is around. I never looked at my house the same way again. I'm currently in bed waiting for the noises to start. I don't know if they will hurt me or not, but I do know something. I would never be alone again. When Mark and Nathan came over to play, I showed them my best Christmas present ever, a .260 Remington hunting rifle. My dad said it was a perfect starter gun for a 12-year-old. I wanted them to be jealous. Deer season was coming up and my dad was going to take me to go score my first buck. I didn't know it was loaded, or did I know that the safety was off. It was my first gun. My dad didn't even get a chance to teach me any gun safety. Nathan was pointing it around pretending to shoot communists when he accidentally pulled the trigger. All I can remember is crying for help. I thought maybe Mark would be okay, and we'll laugh about this all later. Only Mark didn't make it, and Nathaniel got taken away by the police to juvie. I lost both of my friends, and after that I decided that I shouldn't make any more. I didn't deserve friends. I decided I'd play by myself from now on. I was looking through my dad's basement trying to find something I could do for myself when I found the Ouija board. I brought it upstairs and asked my dad about it. "That old thing?" Dad said. "I got the thing from an antique shop in Okoboji. I never able to get the damn thing to work though." How do you use it?" I asked. My dad blamed himself for the accident, so we would constantly try and fail to cheer me up. Instead of talking to me about it and helping me process my feelings, he instructed me on the rules for communicating with the dead. Wait until sunset, light a single black candle, turn off all the lights in your room and place your hands on the planchette and ask something of the spirits. They'll do the rest. I followed his instructions to the T. "Mark," I cried out, "are you there?" I felt nothing at first, but then something gently tugged my hands to say yes on the board. I teared up. I wanted to let Mark know that I was sorry for what happened, but before I could, my hands started moving again. Hide. What? Window. I got up and I looked out the window and Mark's dad was pulling up into the driveway. He got out of his car and started pounding on the front door. "What's happening?" "Hide." A gunshot echoed from below. I jumped in the closet and shut the door as quietly as possible. "Are you in here?" I hear a voice shouting, but it wasn't my dad. "Your dad said you were out playing, but I didn't believe him. Where I'm from, liars get shot." The door to my room swung open. "I just want to talk about my son, that's all." I prayed I'd be safe in the closet. "What's this?" Mark's dad said. "A Ouija board?" Through the closet door, I saw him bend over the board. "Mark, if you're out here, tell me where he's hiding." Closet. Good evening, everyone. If you happen to like our content, then please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing is free. If you ever feel the need to change it, you can always do so. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that way you never miss any of our content. Now back to the video. I moved in with my sister and her ex in a little renovated garage unit made into a living room / kitchen area, 1 bed and bath in Berea, Kentucky. She told me it was haunted because she would hear footsteps and noises coming from the living room when no one was home but her. From the get-go, that place felt off. Everyone always got a heavy feeling of being watched, everywhere else but the bedroom, including the bathroom. One day I told Henry that we didn't like when he stared at us, especially in the shower, and not to be a perv. They only used the bathroom and the facilities when necessary, so there was no furniture in the living room. So when a neighbor gave me a couple of wooden chairs, I brought them over to the house. My sister didn't want them there, but I just still sat them against the wall and went about my day. Well, the next day, I went into the living room and one of the chairs had been moved to the middle of the floor, underneath the ceiling fan. I asked if anyone moved it, and she mouthed off, "I don't even want them there. Why would I fool with them?" So I just placed them back against the wall, and the next time I was in there, it happened again. We heard rumors about a man hanging himself in there, and I suppose that just about sums it up. Also, one night, my sister had a friend, Matilda, over, and we were all sitting on a bed in a triangle. Her friend and I were at the foot of the bed. We were just talking when I saw a quarter-sized black orb float from in front of the wall, up over top of the blinds, and then disappear. The blinds were closed and it was nighttime, so it wasn't a headlight or anything. I stopped talking and I said, "I just saw something." And Matilda said she did too, and elaborated exactly what I saw. We also always had bad dreams there. I was spending the night with my friend Raspberry at her brother Michael's house. The other brother, Spalding, her boyfriend, Barney, and 2 cats were also there. It was around 11 p.m. when she broke out her glow-in-the-dark Ouija board with the light-up planchette, and we all headed upstairs to the closet, including the cats, leaving no one or nothing to debunk our experience. We were all serious about playing it and wouldn't have goofed off. We sit down, light a few candles, and begin asking if anyone was there we could be able to speak with. We get a yes, and then we all look at each other. We play on asking random questions, and I remember the last question being, "Are you in the house?" "No," it reads. Then immediately after that, we hear a bang, downstairs. We do a half-assed goodbye by pushing it ourselves and then burst out of the closet down the stairs to find that the pan that we were using to make ourselves biscuits earlier and obviously left on top of the stove had been completely thrown across the room into the living room. Safe to say our adrenaline was pumping for a while that night. It was incredible. Later that night, it was just Michael and I playing another round of the Ouija board, and we asked the spirit, "Are you human?" It said no. And then there's scratching on the closet door. Then banging and scratching as if something was trying to get in. Like I said, we were all very serious about it and wouldn't have messed around. Besides, someone always fesses up at some point when they do try to play a prank like that. No one ever did. We finally left the closet to find rather deep claw marks on it. And that officially was the last time we ever played. It was our 5th gathering on Halloween and Candace's turn to host. Our little coven had rotated houses each year since we were 13 and challenged the host with coming up with an original story that meant to scare the pants off the rest of us. Kansas set up a table in her basement with just a single candle in the center to illuminate the space. I took my seat directly across from her and Maggie on my left and Phoebe on my right. The candlelight drew dark circles under Candace's eyes, giving her a face a sunken, hollow quality as she began. "Welcome, my sisters. I wanted to do something special this time as you're all supposed to head to college next year, and I wasn't sure when we might have the chance to do this again. So the story I'm about to share with you is not only 100% true, it also happened to me personally." We leaned in closer. Sure, many of the stories we shared before were supposedly true, but no one has ever shared a first-hand encounter. We were all intrigued, to say the least. Last night, I took a Ouija board into the old Haywood house. We all gasped. Yes, do you know the story? Mr. Haywood was a serial killer. Chopped up 15 women in the basement, and the house has been boarded up ever since he was arrested. You also might have heard that since his execution earlier this year, there's been several sights of dark shadows in the windows. I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to have an encounter I could recount tonight. She flashed a devilish grin, lavishing in our obvious anxiety. When I arrived, I expected to need to break a window, but I was surprised to find the back door wide open. I tiptoed across the creaking floors and crept down into the basement, all while feeling the dark presence just behind me. In the middle of the dusty floor, I set up the board and asked to speak to him. He answered. She paused. We were hanging on every word. I asked if he was dead. He said yes. I asked if he was angry. He said yes. I asked if he wanted to kill. He said yes. She pounded on the table. Searing pain shot through my back. I looked down to see the tip of a knife protruding out of my chest. Blood poured down my shirt and everything started to go black as I started to choke for air. The last thing I saw, his sickening smile. She paused again. And then? I asked. And then I died. She stopped. I rolled my eyes. Damn it, Candace, you promised us the 100% true story. I mean, you had me going there, and I did get a little bit jumpy when you got stabbed, but obviously you didn't get murdered by a freaking ghost. She smiled, but you didn't let me get to the twist. She vanished, and I felt a dark presence behind me. Good evening, everyone. This is Yuri K, and this is the end of the video. Please leave a comment and let us know your opinions on the matter. If you happen to like this content, please check out our other videos. Make sure you like and share amongst your friends and family to help our community grow. You happen to be new to this channel? Please make sure you subscribe. It's free, and you can always change it in the future. You have some terrifying story suggestions? If so, make sure that you send it to my email, fearofthedarkstories@gmail.com, and I'll feature it in a future segment. But you guys stay safe out there, and remember to always be afraid of the dark.